Right guys, testing out a solo play of The Hunters, 2114 AD. Let's see how it goes. So, set everything up for the first mission. A pale light was shining from the outside, barely able to penetrate the discoloured rugs that hung in the windows. Inside it was hot and sultry. It seemed that a real crowd had filled the room, which was very unusual for a backwater place such as this. One of the hosts kept staring intently at everyone, as if trying to learn their intentions. As he looked around, a particular group of men caught his eye. His fingers now nervously wandered around the holster. The man wondered why the prefect himself, a person of such importance, would choose to visit their hideout. 3 of his men followed close by. Each were unique in their own fears and habits. Each had a tragic story to tell, but after the impact tragedies, their stories just became inherent parts of the past. Hell, you could call yourself lucky if you had a single relative alive. The prefect looked around. He welcomed the stench of long unwashed bodies, must and leftovers that had been left to rot. Who would believe that the local machine hunters lived in such a hovel? But nowadays, not past tense. A working air conditioner or a bathtub with running water were a luxury hardly anyone could afford. The prefect understood this very well. It was no accident that he had become a man of such power. He could easily get into other people's shoes and find words of comfort if need be. That was the reason the sorry state of the hunter's shelter had made him optimistic ahead of coming negotiations. He assumed they would bargain. When business was usual, the prefect was preoccupied with normal everyday problems. Sometimes there was a stray group of aggressive machines that needed taken care of. Sometimes new wells needed digging. Other times he had to make an example of some particularly reckless smuggler. But the thing that had brought the prefect here was entirely different, and it kept becoming more and more profound. A strange plague was spreading in the town, but it was not your typical disease commonly encountered these days. The illness infecting the soul itself, giving beggars hope, making misers' lives meaningful, and ultimately undermining the prefect's position. A few weeks ago, some strangers visited town. They called themselves priests. Street preachers and doomsayers always had many listeners in lean times, and the prefect tolerated them. They were just part of the folklore, an entertainment for the masses, a rare retreat in the endless bleakness of hard life. But these guys were different. One look from them made your skin crawl. There was something real and zealous about them that made them differentiate from the sorry bunch of charlatans and madmen prowling the streets. They talked about the cold that would cleanse the world, about a frozen god who would only protect his anointed servants. The worst part of all this was that it actually started getting cold. Despite the fact that summer was in full bloom, in the evening temperatures fell below zero. It couldn't be an aftermath of the impact, as many years had passed since then. This was something new and alarming. The prefect couldn't find any explanation, and such a situation always roused his fear. Yesterday it even snowed for a moment, and now everyone was talking about it. The prefect's men attempted to arrest the priests, but for each taken from the street, 2 more appeared. This plague was like a cancer, threatening to the order the prefect had been working so hard to maintain. The balance had to be restored, and it was high time someone took care of it. Someone with fresh ideas and preferably uninvolved in local politics. You get a job from the prefect, the man keeping a steel grip on New Jensen and everything surrounding it. Your task is to catch and bring him the leaders of the new cult. In these lands, the prefect's word is law, so refusing him would mean exile at best. Besides, this cult doesn't look too dangerous, and the money is good. You accept the terms of the bargain quickly and get to it. The prefect starts by asking you to visit the town and assess the situation personally. One of the prefect's men will be waiting for you at the outskirts of the town to show you the places worth visiting at the beginning of your investigation. So here we have New Jensen. This is the main site, and these are all the locations that are available. So you've got Under the Side, Piggery, Main Square, and the gun store. This card has been placed at the start on top of this site, and because it's face down, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but because it's above the card, I need to encounter it when I go to New Jensen. So I start on day 1, and There we go, some more reading. Great. Outskirts rendezvous. You meet the prefect's manager. He's a balding, middle-aged man with a stark look on his face, wearing rather aesthetic clothes. He gets straight to the point when he sees you, as if he was used to giving orders. I'm Stanislaus Zyla. My job is to tell you about the current situation, possible options, and how to infiltrate the cult of the Frozen. Just as the prefect said in the beginning, we paid little attention to them, but their teachings quickly escalated towards disobedience to the current rulers. These men also start questioning the rules and laws we all abide by. To be frank, we're afraid that someone is trying to take over power of the whole community or even assassinate the prefect. That's why our venerable leaders decided to temper these self-appointed priests. Anyone behind this whole scheme will either be exiled or executed. What the hell? You notice two short, haggard men approaching you. Hey you, get out of our town, you bums. Give us all the cells and return to whatever shithole you could come out from. And that's the start, the beginning. So I've already set up the first scenario board. Stanislaus steps aside, apparently having no intention of intervening, and looks nervous at his watch. Take care of them, boys. I have no time for such bullshit. You have 5 minutes to play, he says. Thugs remove spiked clubs from beneath their coats and close on your group. So, this is combat. And it's a daytime mission, so there's no nighttime effects. I forgot I get to pick 5 action cards to keep on me at all time. So it's a good idea to have some attack. Show you melee attack. Charge. He's only got a melee weapon, a machete. Just kind of looks like that. He also has a set of goggles which can ignore the weather rules, which there are none on this one. Probably good to have a move card and quick strikes. So that's my hand. That's my hand of cards. So I have a top action and a bottom action. And I draw from this deck, so I just shuffle it. This is my soldier character, and I've also picked the medic character. She's got a pistol, which is ranged, and a couple of med kits. Yeah, I'll take a selection of cards. No doubt I'll have rubbish, but So, now in this particular scenario, the bad guys go first. Because I've only got 2 characters, the bandit's already got 2 wounds in the muscle. So the bandit with the pistol has got 2 wounds already, and the guy with the club has got 1 wound. So my soldier, this is my medic. So the bandit with the pistol, if he's in melee with someone, he will do a parting leap, and if he can't do that, he'll do a melee attack. If he is within 1 square of someone, he'll do a ranged attack at -1, and then move 1 away. So his ranged attack at range 1 has 3 dice. So I think yeah, sorry, 3, so he needs to roll less than 3. And okay. So this is the attack value, and this is the damage value. I'll just work out how many dice I roll. Yeah. So I roll 3 dice to attack, to shoot him at range 1, and I've got to roll less than 3 for a hit on any dice. But it's -1 to that, so anything less than 2 is a hit. So they're both misses, and that's a hit. So I take one, the soldier takes 1 damage. He's got nothing to defend, so he goes and takes 1 hit. And then the muscle with a club will move 1 to the soldier, and then he'll attack, and he gets 2 dice, assigned 2 or less to score. So he does 1 hit. Again, I've got nothing to defend, so I take another wound. Okay. That's my turn, so I can decide what I'm going to do. I am going to play attack, which allows him to do a melee attack with 2. So I've got to get 2 or less. Now I roll my strength dice, plus 2 for the machete, so I roll 4 dice. I have a +1 here and a 2 attack, so I've got to get less than 3 to do any damage to the muscle with a club. And I do 3 damage. And melee, he has got 1 armour, so he takes 2 wounds. Kill him all. Oh, actually, he rolls 1 dice. No, he doesn't take any armour. So, and for the medic's turn, she will do a ranged attack. She is 1, 2 away. So she'll do, ranged attack 2. Which is there. Like that. So she gets, it's actually 1 square away, to be honest. So she gets 3 dice for 1 range with 0 modifier. So she's looking at 2s to do damage, and she misses. Wow. Okay. Now I can use morale. She has a few bits of morale, so and I don't know where the morale, so I know you can use them for stuff. And I think it's kind of like rerolls and there's a cheat sheet on Board Game Geek which I wish I had tried out, because I'm sure it's here somewhere. I just can't find it. Oh, yeah, I spend a morale token, which she's got 2 of, to increase the hit value to a 3 rather than a 2, which means we'd have done 3 damage. He's got 1 defense dice, stops 1, but he's only got 1 wound, so kills him as well. If I hadn't killed him, he would have ran away this turn anyway, in this scenario. And that's that first thing. So it's just really an easy combat to get to there. So we each gain 1 experience point. Woohoo! Put in our character sheets. Now you need 20 experience points to get up to level 2, and then 30 to get to level 3, 40 to level 4. And you spend them, so it's like you have to get a lot of experience through this game to get up. Right. She gets her morale back for killing the guy with the pistol, so that was a good spend of morale. And each person gains, and we gain 1 1 fuel cell. Fuel cells are the currency of the game. So you take fuel cells to the town and use them to buy blueprints to take back to your base and build items, or to buy items directly. You can sell your items and get fuel cells back. Entirely always up to you. And that's the basis of the game. I'll continue playing and stop this now.